Okay guys, ever since Sigma sent over the 23mm f1.4 DGDN lens for testing, which is an absolutely phenomenal lens, a lot of you were asking about the Viltrox 23mm f1.4. How does it compare? This one's $299, this one is $529. What do you get for that extra bit of money? Because it's a fair bit of money. Well, let's talk about it. So a big thanks to Viltrox for sending over the 23mm for testing, and Sigma Canada for sending over their 23mm for testing. All opinions are my own. I don't think they know that I'm making this video. I don't think that they'll care that I'm making this video. And I don't care which one you buy. I will put affiliate links for both in the description. But I do want to talk about what you get if you spend $529 versus $299. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you a quick video test. This is here in Handsome Studios. I just side by side, I will put the two lenses. Now they were both manually white balanced, but the white balance came out to be exactly the same. So they match very much in color and they match very much in everything when it comes to video. So if you were just doing interviews, talking head, you wanted to do some video, and a lot of people love the 23mm focal length for video on APS-C because that's close to a 35mm full frame equivalent, and that is very, very popular when it comes to video and film. There are differences between them, but you may not see them here in a real world scenario just filming somebody doing a talking head video. They do have a nice few similarities. Same focal length, same f1.4 to f16, which is great in low light, 52mm filter thread on both of these. They're both about the same size and weight. The Viltrox is a little smaller, 260 grams versus 330 grams, but in the real world, you don't feel that much of a difference. And they both have 9 rounded diaphragm blades, so the bokeh actually comes out decently similar. Now, in terms of build quality, I actually prefer the cheaper Viltrox lens. It's an all-metal lens, it's got a metal lens hood, and it has a nice aperture ring. It is a smooth one, which is better for video generally. I personally prefer a clicky one, but I understand that for video, that a lot of people like the smooth aperture ring, and it's always great to have an aperture ring on a lens, in my opinion. And the Viltrox does have a USB port built into the lens, which is great when you want to update the lens. I love that implementation. I would like to see that in more lenses. Nothing to complain about with the Sigma. It's just hard plastic and a big nice focus ring, but the Sigma does have some weather sealing. It is dust and moisture resistant, whereas the Viltrox has no weather sealing to speak of. Next, we'll talk about sharpness. A lot of people like to know the sharpness of a lens. This is good news for both. Both lenses are very sharp in the center. Down at 1.4, the Sigma is a little bit better in the corners than the Viltrox, but if you stop them down a bit, both are quite sharp. Corner to corner, no complaints at all about the sharpness. Now, someplace you will see a difference is with chromatic aberration. Both lenses aren't bad with chromatic aberration, but the Sigma is definitely better. If you do very high contrast scenes wide open at f1.4, you will see chromatic aberration on both lenses, but it will be more present on the Viltrox. Now, you can correct chromatic aberration in post, but there's definitely more on the Viltrox. If you stop the lenses down, of course, then you can get rid of some of that. And that is just in very high contrast scenes when you are pixel peeping, but the Sigma is the better performer when it comes to chromatic aberration. It is also the better performer when it comes to the longitudinal chromatic aberration. It is present on the Viltrox decently heavily when you are down at 1.4. The Sigma, you can still see it, but it is not there very much compared to the Viltrox. Once again, if you stop both lenses down, you will get rid of any LOCA focus breathing. Now, the win actually goes to Viltrox here. It has less focus breathing than the Sigma. I think that's the Sigma's biggest flaw, is the focus breathing. It's quite noticeable. Now, you are only going to notice it when you're doing long focus pulls. So unless you're focusing from very far away to very close very quickly, you're probably not going to see it in day-to-day use. There's a little bit of focus breathing on the Viltrox, but much more on the Sigma lens. So flaring and ghosting, the clear winner is the Sigma in this category, because this is amazing at controlling flare and ghosting. Shining bright lights into this guy, it doesn't care at all. Like whether it's the sunshine or a bright light at night, this handles it fantastically well. The Viltrox handles it okay. It's an average performer maybe, but nowhere near as good as the Sigma lens in this category. So if that's important to you, Sigma. Autofocus. This one's probably a draw. Both are great at autofocus. Very snappy, very fast, almost instant. I can tell no difference between the two in terms of the speed and accuracy of autofocusing, which is great. I will say that the Viltrox does make more noise autofocusing in very difficult situations. So if you're in a really low light situation and it's struggling to gain focus, you can hear the motors a lot more in the Viltrox. But regular day-to-day use in actual normal lighting conditions, both are dead silent. So the Viltrox is better than the Sigma in terms of build quality, size, and price. But in terms of optics, the only way it beats this Sigma lens is in terms of focus breathing. So once again, thanks to Sigma Canada and Viltrox as well for sending out these lenses for testing, and so I could show you guys so you can make an informed decision about which one might be right for you. I really don't see how you could go wrong with either lens. If you want the best of the best optically, this guy right here. If you want a great lens at a budget price, this guy right here. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again soon. Okay, bye-bye.